Good morning, children. It's my happy privilege to welcome you all for this new academic year. And this is Vincent, your social science teacher, and I will be handling social science subject throughout this year. Okay, and many of you who studied last year 6th standard, you know about me. And maybe uh, there may be some new students this year, so I introduce myself to you. Okay, so I will be teaching social science class for you this year. Okay, so we are entering into a new academic year. uh, so before we move into our lesson, first we'll discuss something about the introduction. Okay, so we are moving into unit 1, new lesson in history. So the title of our lesson is Sources of Medieval History. Sources of Medieval History. Okay, so let's move on to the introductory part of our lesson. Okay, so what is medieval period? So last year in 6th standard, you studied uh, many titles, isn't it? So our history is divided into three important parts. Okay, history is divided into three important parts. One is prehistoric period, second one is medieval period, and the third one is modern period. Okay, so what are the three parts of history? Prehistoric period, medieval period, and modern period. Uh, During sixth standard last year, you studied prehistoric period. Okay, you studied about, do you remember? You studied about human evolution, Indian civilization, uh, empires, Gupta Empire, Ashokan Empire, Mauryan Empire, Sangam Age. All these things, they cover prehistoric period. Okay, so sixth standard you studied prehistoric period. The first type of historic period we completed. In seventh standard we are moving into the next type of historic period, that is called medieval. Okay, so what is this common term medieval means? Medieval means in between. Okay, what is meant by medieval? In between. Why we call this period medieval? Because it is in between the prehistoric period and modern period. So next year 8th standard you will be studying modern historic period. Understood? So uh, because it is in between prehistoric period and modern period, we call this period as medieval period. Okay, medieval means in between, in the middle. Okay, so next we are going to study about the timeline of the periods. Okay, mm, prehistoric period. What is the timeline for prehistoric period? It is from 5000 BC up to 700 AD. Last year we studied this time. So what all events happened from 5000 BC to 700 AD we covered briefly in last year portion. Okay, and this year we are continuing with that. So the this year we are going to study from 700 AD to 1700 AD. So this period of 1000 years, that is from 700 AD to 1700 AD, we call it medieval period. And more importantly, we are only focusing upon Indian history. Okay, so uh, we study only Indian history and the countries which involve, which had contact with India only. We are focusing. We are not focusing upon world history. Okay, so the events that happened during medieval period in India, we are going to study this year. Understood? Okay, and moreover, the timeline of medieval period is further divided into two parts. Okay, the first part is called early medieval period, and the second part is called later medieval period. Okay, so what is early medieval period? I told you before, isn't it? The timeline of 700 AD to 1700 AD is called medieval period. So this medieval period is divided into two parts. That is 500 years. So first 500 years we call it early medieval period, and the last 500 years we call them later medieval period. So from 700 AD to 1200 AD time period, we call it early medieval period. Okay, and from 1200 AD to 1700 AD, we call it later medieval period. Okay, so we finished the second part also. First part we studied what is medieval period. Okay, then we studied about timeline of medieval period. Now we are going to study about informations regarding medieval period. Okay, so what are the informations? What are the informations the medieval period give us? From medieval period, uh, we collect what types of informations. We are going to study them now. Okay, so the medieval period contains informations about uh, the people lived during the medieval period. It gives informations about the kings. Okay, the lifestyle of the kings. Okay, and also it gives the information of people who lived during that period. And moreover, we have to understand one important thing. Whenever the history is recorded, the history will be always in favorable of higher level people. For example, history always give uh, high level informations about kings, and it will give only very little information about the common people, because the kings are the supreme people. They control everything. So when you study the medieval period, it has more informations about the kings and royal people, and we have only few information about common people. Okay, and during medieval period there were courtiers. Okay, even we can call them as historians. So these what is the work of these courtiers? They copy the important events happened during the medieval period. We call them courtiers. Okay, we can name them also historians. So they record important events happened during the period. So these courtiers, they always record events in favorable of the kings. Okay, even though something bad happens. Okay, for example, if a king went on a war, and if he lost the war, but the courtier and historians, they never record it as they lost. Okay, they won the battle. Always historians and courtiers, they record events only in favorable of the king. They exaggerate. Okay, they magnify they magnify about the achievements of the king in higher manner, so that people who read about the king in future, they think good about the king. Okay, so this is one common thing in history. And there is one particular courtier. The name of that courtier is Kafi Khan. Okay, so he was a courtier in the court of Emperor Aurangzeb. Aurangzeb, he was a famous Arab emperor. In his court, there was a famous courtier, historian who record the important events in history. The name of the courtier is Kafi Khan. Okay, he says like this: it is duty of an historian to be faithful, to have no hope of profit, no fear of injury, to show no partiality on one side or animosity to the other, to know no difference between friend and stranger, and to write nothing but with sincerity. Okay, so this man, Kafi Khan, he says what is a perfect duty of a courtier. Okay, so the courtier must be faithful. Okay, he must be faithful. He has to record only the event that happened as it was happened. He should not exaggerate, he should not magnify it, or he should not lower it. Okay, and he should not look for any profit. Okay, why these courtiers they write high about the kings? Because when they write high about them, the kings may give them offerings. Okay, they may give them gift. So, a true courtier should not look for any gift from higher people and write events in favorable to the kings. Okay, and moreover, they may even injured. Okay, so whenever a courtier writes informations which is not accepted by the king, which is against the king may happen to ill treat the courtier. They may put them in jail, prison, okay, or they may injure them, harm them. But the courtier should not be afraid of injuries, okay, and also they should not show any partiality to one side, okay. Writing something in favorable of one-sided people, this is also not accepted as a good courtier, good historian. Okay, and they even should not show any difference between friend or a stranger. Anybody, they have to write what they did. They should not show some kind of favor to friends and other people. Okay, and they have to write only with sincerity. They should not write as they want, whatever they wanted to write. They have to write sincerely. Okay, so this is a statement, this is an information given by a famous, very famous courtier named Kafi Khan. He was a courtier in the court of Emperor Aurangzeb. Okay, so this is the introductory part of our lesson 1 of history. Okay, so what are the things we studied so far? We studied three important things. Okay, what is medieval period? What is the timeline for medieval period? What are the informations uh, regarding contained inside the medieval period? Okay, so what is medieval period? It is a it is a period which is in between the prehistoric period and modern period. And what is the timeline of of medieval period? It is from 700 AD to 1700 AD. Okay, so the timeline is divided into two parts. One is early medieval period and the other one is later medieval period. So, what is the time period of early medieval period? It is from 700 AD to 1200 AD. And what is the time period for later medieval period? It is from 1200 AD to 1700 AD. So, what are the informations contained in the medieval period? Okay, the medieval period gives informations about kings, royal peoples, and lifestyle of common people. Okay, and moreover, it always give more informations about the high people and less information about the low people. Okay, so we completed the first topic, that is the introductory part of our lesson 1 of history. Okay, now let's move on to the second part of our lesson. Okay, in second part we are focusing upon the sources of medieval history. Okay, so what is sources? Last year we studied this, isn't it? Source. What is meant by source? Source means nothing but uh, from where we collect information. The information provider is called source. Okay. Last year also I gave you one information, isn't it? One identification. How can you express source? Okay. When you get milk from the shop, okay, and if somebody asks you what is the source of milk, what should you say? Cow is the source of milk because you get the milk from the cow. Understood? So, since we get milk from cow, we call cow is the source of milk. Okay. Likewise, we study about medieval period, isn't it? So, from where we collect the informations about this medieval period? So, nobody, we live in modern period, we live in modern age. Okay. So, nobody in this world directly saw what happened in the medieval period with our naked eyes because it was very many years before, that happened thousands of years before. So nobody in this world today was there when these events happened. So only we refer to the informations available, so that is called source. Okay, so what is source? From where we collect information, the information provider, we call it source. Okay, and the source is divided into two types. Okay, one is primary source and the other one is secondary source. Okay, the first one is primary source and the second one is secondary source. So the primary source is further divided into three types. Okay, inscriptions, monuments, and coins. Okay, primary sources divided into three parts. First one is inscriptions, monuments, and coins. And the secondary sources divided into four parts. Okay, one is literary works, chronicles, travelogues, biographies, and autobiographies. Okay, children. So today we studied the outline about these sources. Okay, only we looked about the outline. We studied the topic only. Okay, in the next class we'll study each and every source in detail. Okay, I hope you understood the introductory part of medieval history. Okay, when you study from the beginning only continuously, you can understand everything. So keep reading your lessons. I hope you all received your textbook. If not, collect your textbook as soon as possible and go through the lessons. Okay, children, will meet in the next class. See you. Bye.